Hey, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Kevon's Life. I'm Kevon and we're starting a new project today. I just came back from Hobby Lobby because it is a yarn on sale week for Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby does 30% off of all of their yarn every other week. I'm gonna start on a fall dress and I need to get it done kind of quickly because I want it to be short sleeve still, and of course like I can layer with it as it gets a little bit cooler, but it is a dress that I'm gonna want to wear early fall. So let me show y'all my inspo. Here's the inspo. You may have seen it on TikTok, on Pinterest. It's like really one of the few kind of crochet granny square smock dresses that I've seen. I personally consider that to be a smock dress, and I love the way smock dresses fit on my body shape. So I'm really excited to make this. It's all just granny squares, so that's my first step, is to just make a ton of granny squares. As I was kind of looking at the creator who made this dress, of course I like was zooming in, you know, I was deep in my phone trying to figure out what she may have done to create this dress, but it looks like she's got like 4 or 5 panels of granny squares just kind of like in a row. And so I'm a plus size girl, as y'all know, so in my head I'm just kind of thinking, okay, double it maybe. So I'm not exactly sure how many granny squares I'm gonna make just yet, but we'll figure that part out together. I'll keep you updated. I did just want to come on here and start the video and show y'all the yarn that I'm making, show y'all the yarn that I purchased, and then tell you what I'm thinking so far. And then I'm probably gonna do like 1 or 2 granny squares tonight, and then see how those measure up, what the measurements are, and then decide how I want to move forward. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and start this video. The book that I'm listening to is the second book in the Blood at the Root series. So if you are familiar, you've probably heard about Blood at the Root. So this is Bones at the Crossroad. It follows a young man who attends this magical HBCU, and I'm obsessed. Another thing that I love about this book is one of the characters' names is Kevon, which is crazy to me. And I just love that so much. And I even love it more listening to the audiobook because the pronunciation is chef's kiss. I love it. Yes, that's exactly how you say Kevon. Of course, this Kevon is a young man. I have never met another girl Kevon. They've all been boys. So yes, anyway, if your name is Kevon at all, shout out to you. Let me show y'all my yarn colors, and then like I said, I'm gonna start working on it today. So here's the yarn that I picked up. I was not super successful, so I had went to Hobby Lobby over the weekend, but of course the yarn wasn't on sale yet, so I didn't buy anything. And today I went to a different Hobby Lobby, and of course they didn't have the 5th color that I needed, which is the most important color. It's actually like my base. It's the whole neutral of the dress that I need. So I have to go to another Hobby Lobby and pick that up sometime this week. But I picked up the other 4 colors that I'm going to use. Let me show y'all the color scheme. Here's the color scheme that I'm going for. The 5th color that I'm missing is just a lighter khaki color. These are the vibes. I'm hoping it gives fall. I want it to give fall, but still me. These are colors that I think I would be happy wearing. Before I left Hobby Lobby, I did make sure all the skeins that I picked up were the same lot color, even though it's a granny square dress, which wouldn't make like the colors super noticeable if there were any differences. I still just decided to kind of like go the extra mile and confirm all the lot colors, and I'm also going to take note of them since this is what will be a bigger project. I am using cotton yarn for this, so I picked up the I Love This Cotton. That's the Hobby Lobby brand. I love this cotton yarn. Yeah, I didn't want to use acrylic for this. Something about just like, I don't know, if I'm gonna spend my time making a wearable for myself on this big body, I'm not gonna use acrylic yarn for it, because really, like, I hope that it lasts a long time. I hope that I'm happy with it, and so I want to use a fiber that I feel comfortable wearing, and acrylic dress is just not giving for me. So I probably am spending more money than I need to make a dress, but it's a wearable, so I kind of like would just prefer to use a cotton or a cotton blend, and hopefully it'll make it like a little bit lighter. Is cotton lighter than acrylic yarn? That I'm not sure about. That could just be in my head, but I'm hoping that like this will feel like something that I can pick up off of a rack. I do think I'm gonna use a size 5 hook, maybe a size 5.5. Let's make a cute little dress for fall. I came on here because we're about to leave the house. So anyway, okay, well, I was saying I'm about to leave the house. We have this place in Lexington. I've talked about it before. It's called the Lexington Center for Creative Reuse, and so it's really just like a crafting space where people can donate crafts and stuff like that. It's a really great resource for teachers who are looking for crafting items, things to support projects, all the cool stuff. So I'm going there because they're actually hosting like a fiber arts night, and I figured why not. I don't have anything else to do, so I'm gonna take my granny squares. Let me get them. I've been keeping my granny squares in a bowl, so I'm gonna take my granny squares and work on those. So the way I've been working on these is I've just been doing like round by round by color scheme. So I did a bunch of like first round, and I did the second round for all the tan first round centers, and I've just been like working on those. So this has 4 rounds. The 5th round is going to be finished with this beige color on every single one. So yeah, that's how I've been like attacking it. I don't know if it helps me move any faster, but I have a ton of granny squares to make, so I'm just making granny squares and then we'll figure it out later. But yeah, I figured that would be like a good mindless project I could bring because I don't have to count anything. I know what I'm doing, so I can like focus on that and not be concerned about the actual crocheting piece of it. So fingers crossed this is a good socialization outing. Even if I just get the last round on all these finished, that's progress, so I'm not mad at it. Take my little bowl, take my crochet hook. I need to find my crochet scissors, and then that'll be it. So I'll pick y'all back up when we get to the place, and I'll show you around too, because I don't think I've ever showed you the place.
I love that.
Thank you. I'm documenting my crochet journey on YouTube, so
Yeah. You know, stuff like that is so good because you get to track your own growth. Other people get to get inspired because they see the growth can happen.
I remembered your stuff. No walking taco. I didn't know you were a non-meter.
But then I missed my mom's.
Hi, I have been doing a wash and go for the last 2 weeks, and I like the wash and goes, but I don't know how to style it. So this is what we attempted today. It's a new day. I made really good progress on my granny squares at the Fiber Arts happy hour thingy. That was really good. I will go back. I've said it before, I really like that place, and yeah, it was just good vibes. So I stayed longer than I anticipated. Very good. And I finished up all 4 rounds on the granny squares that I had been making. So today I'm gonna pack those again because it is family reunion day. So I'm about to just go sit at the park and I'm gonna crochet. So I'm gonna work on my granny squares there too. Hopefully we'll get to a point in this vlog where I'm actually putting the granny squares together and making a dress, but we gotta make, I haven't exactly figured out how many granny squares it needs to be, but the girl on her dress, she had like 40, and she seemed like a much smaller human than me. So I'm kind of thinking like 70, 80 is what I need. So we'll see. That might be a bit dramatic, but we'll just make the granny squares, and then once I have enough to like actually start laying stuff down and measuring, I'll do that. So. Squares for a dress.
Look at that. I don't know. It just makes it look like jewelry on my nails. That's at least how I see it. The type of polish that I get is gel because it lasts better over time. It doesn't chip as easy. I just love this look, y'all. And got through the entire night without any issues. They aren't stiff and they wear well over time.
Hey, so y'all just saw me doing my first kind of like layout of the granny squares just to kind of see. So I pulled out a dress that doesn't fit quite how I want this smock dress to fit, but it is like a decent length and close-ish to the width. So the dress that I'm using as kind of like a guide actually is more like a fit and flare dress, and this granny square dress will not be that. It's going to be more like a smock dress, so more like A-liney. So I just needed to keep that in mind as I'm looking at these. So I laid out the granny squares, and I originally had 8 across, and that's going to be way too big. I moved it to 6 across, and that looks good. I also did like a measurement around my whole body, and it's about like 28 inches for the front. So what's that? I don't know, like 50? I can't remember, but it's something. So I'm just gonna go off the guide that I want one front panel, like I want the front panel and the back panel to be about 29 inches. Let me do this again while I'm talking to y'all. Yeah, like, so If I wanted it to fit, which I don't want it to be too big, 30 inches would be good. That this would be the front panel, like the front. So maybe I should do one more granny square across, because it is gonna stretch. So I'm not using acrylic yarn for these granny squares. I'm using a cotton yarn. I don't know how much cotton yarn stretches, but I would assume that it like stretches. That just seems too big. Okay, I'm gonna keep it with the, puts me at 27 inches. 27 plus 27. Hey Alexa, what's 27 plus 27? No, Alexa, do the math. What is 27 plus 27? No, Alexa, stop. Alexa, go back to the Houston show I was watching.
Here are some results.
This isn't working. This isn't working. Stop, Alexa. Just stop. Let it go, bro. So I guess she doesn't do math. That's annoying. Okay. Well, I was watching Heart and Hustle. 20 plus 20 is 40 plus 7 plus 7 is 10. 30 plus 8. 38? No, that's not right. 48? 48? Yeah, because 25 plus 25 is 50. Okay. So like 48.
I think we all need to know.
That's not right.
There's
Oh my
a
gosh.
defense.
This is so hard. 54.
So
Okay.
if we was,
Why was that insanely difficult? Okay, so when I measure around my body, I get 58 inches, and that's like without squeezing or anything like that. So right now, if I keep it at my granny squares, which are how they're laid across, it's 27 inches. That's 54. I think I might keep it because the yarn should stretch. I think I'll be okay. Y'all know I'll be making my clothes too big, so I should probably lean on the smaller side. Minus a few inches, that should be about right. I think we'll be okay. So I'm gonna keep it how it is for now. I will try it on as I go, of course, and if I need to make more granny squares, I will, but let's just go with it right now. So we're gonna do the 6 across, and yeah, that should be good. So I have still quite a bit of granny squares to go. Don't even have a full front side yet, so the saga continues. And I also am gonna need to figure out how to do the front, because the way she has them laid out. Hello, I have new hair. It's put up right now. I literally just got it done, but I am on the floor putting these granny squares together, so I need the hair out of my face. I have granny squares everywhere though, so that's like one front panel, and then over there is like another panel, and then here is what I have the most of for the front panel. So I'm about to start with those, like put these out spaciously, and then put the rest of those out so that it's all even, because all the granny squares are different. Like I made a few sets of each different like color combo, which honestly didn't make a big difference, but oh well. So yeah, let me put y'all down and start laying out these granny squares, and then hopefully, like I said, I have enough stitch markers to at least seam like the front together and then a little bit of the back to see if it'll fit. Six across, 7. Hello, it's the next day. I'm back at it with my granny squares. I feel like I'm in somewhat like a groove, so I'm doing it. I'm just going for it, and I decided that I'm just going to seam up the whole front panel, and we'll just go from there. Because the way I want to seam it, I low-key need to start at the bottom, or like I low-key need to commit is what it is. I can start at the bottom or at the top, but I just need to commit all the way through is what I feel like I need to do. So here I am committing. I'm just I'm not slip stitching. I'm single crocheting to seam them together, and it's going to be like a raised, it'll, you know, like when you single crochet stitches together, it gives like the raised, which is exactly what I want because I think it'll help provide some structure to the dress, which I think is very cute. So I decided to go for that. So I'm seaming my granny squares right sides out so that you can see the raised look. So I'm gonna set y'all down and we're just gonna do some of this. Finished one piece and now I'm at a point now where I actually have to snip and start again, and I drew myself a diagram, but in true Kevon fashion, I'm not even following it. I really just dived in. Y'all, trapping off the iPhone because my battery on my camera is dead and I took out the memory card. So anyway, here is the dress. I have it mostly seamed up. As you can see, I needed to put the sides together, but what I'm thinking is it seems like it's a little smidge too, like if I seam it up now, it's gonna be a little too tight and I don't want that. I want this to be like a true smock dress. So I think I'm gonna do like however many granny squares this is, like 5 granny squares, 6 granny squares. I'm gonna do one more set of granny squares on each side. So what's that, 10 12 more granny squares, and then that should be enough. And then I need to do granny squares for the side for my sleeve, so +4, 12 + 4, 16 more granny squares to go. I think this is very cute. It's looking exactly how I want it to look, and I do think I'm gonna like it a lot. It's very cute. See, like, it looks good. This is the shape that I'm going for, but when I seam it together, it'll be too tight, I think. Yeah, it just feels too tight. Y'all know I be making my clothes big anyway, but I feel like if I seam it together now, it'll be too small. So I'm gonna add one more. I'm not really sure. Well, this is what I'm thinking right now. We'll see what I do, but I'm about finished with this project for today, so I'm gonna come back to this tomorrow. But yeah, there is a little small update on the dress. We're getting there. We're getting there. It looks like it's like 9 o'clock at night, but it's only like 3. After talking to y'all on my iPhone, I decided I am gonna seam up one of the sides because low-key I think it's fine. It probably doesn't need any granny squares, and I need to exit the loop of making my clothes too big. Okay, I need to stop doing that, and today is the day that we stop. Actually, I've made a few clothes that fit a lot better lately, but anyway, I'm going to seam together one of the sides, try it on, see how I feel, but I think it's gonna be just fine. So yeah, and then we'll be like really close to being done. I think I'm still gonna need to make a few more granny squares for the sleeve, but that's not a big deal. So I figure we'll seam together the one side, see how it fits, seam together the other side tonight, and then it would be really cool if I could put the finishing touches of like the border, like a 2 or 3 rows of single crochets or something like that, and then finish the sleeves. So this dress needs to be done by this weekend. Let's get to it. Okay, I've seamed up the sides and I was right. It fits wonderfully without having to make any extra granny squares for the sides. So the sides are all seamed up. I have 4 granny squares that I'm going to, they're different granny squares. Oh well. At this point, it doesn't matter how the granny squares line up. I don't care. So I'm going to, oh no, I have 5 granny squares. Okay, I have 5 granny squares. I'm going to do one side of the sleeve to see how many granny squares I need, and then that will give me some clarity about like what else needs to get done as far as what granny squares I need to make before we like really put the finishing touches on it all. So that's exciting. The creator whose video and like photographs I've been using as a guide to kind of figure this out, she is a regular size girl, so not plus size. So she did 4 granny squares for a sleeve. I think I should just be safe and do 6. And that might make me like comfy, because the way the shoulders are laying right now, it kind of looks like a cap sleeve, and I definitely want it to be like a sleeve. Yeah, I'm gonna lay these out, play around with it, and then seam it up and see how it lays, and then go from there. Hey guys, we're back and I have a finished dress. How exciting. I just got back from a day out. I actually went to a yarn thing. I'm assuming I'm gonna put it in this video, but I went to like a yarn pop-up shop in my old college town, which is about an hour away. So I drove there and just explored, and I got so many compliments there, and just I went to like Trader Joe's and stuff, and I got a ton of compliments. So how exciting. I just really appreciate that. And it's its first day out, so I think it looks pretty good to the people, which is very exciting. So yeah, this is the dress. There are some loose ends still sticking out on the inside of the dress, but I cannot be concerned. This is the dress. I'm very, very, very happy with it. It's smocking exactly how I want it to smock. It looks good. Let me figure out how to show y'all like most of the dress, and then I'll say bye. Still not most of the dress, but I'll be Wizard Kelly for now, so you can kind of see. Oh, if I back up, you can kind of see most of it. So you can't see my face, but this is the dress. You can see most of it actually. So I really like how it turned out. I'm very proud of it. I do think this is something that I'm actually gonna wear and style up. I bought the cutest pair of boots yesterday, and I think this will also be cute with the boots too. It really gives the 70s vibe, which it eats a lot. So yeah, there's the dress. For size reference, I'm a size 18-20 2X, and I am about 5'10". In total, how many granny squares did I make? I'm not sure, but it's definitely over 80, because there's like 40 on each side just about. So thank you so much for sticking around for this video. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts about the dress down below in the comments. Chat with me, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.